My name is Michelle Beebe, and I serve as the Chief Revenue Officer for the Small Business Association of Michigan. We represent and have the privilege of supporting 33,000 small employers across the state of Michigan, from child care providers and manufacturers to Main Street retailers and family-owned businesses. Employers who are working every day to create jobs, care for their communities, and keep Michigan's economy moving forward. At SBAM, our role is simple but critical. We listen to our members. We advocate for solutions that meet them where they are. And what we are hearing, and myself personally, over and over again, is that the cost of healthcare coverage continues to be the biggest barrier to their growth and stability. For many small businesses, this isn't theoretical, it's personal. It's the owner choosing between offering coverage or hiring another employee. It's child care providers trying to retain staff in a workforce crisis. It's a family business asking how much longer they can absorb double-digit increases. We've seen what happens when small businesses are given viable alternatives. In 2018, we were able to establish an association health plan, and in a very short time, we were able to provide access to affordable health care to hundreds of employers and thousands of employees. We were able to provide affordable, stable health coverage to small employers across Michigan, and the impact was incredibly real. Lower costs compared to traditional small group health plans, greater predictability year over year on claims experience and cost, and most importantly, access to coverage that many employers otherwise can't offer today. We heard directly from members that this wasn't just a benefit, it was a lifeline. And when that option went away, we heard that loudly. Since then, our members have been asking one consistent question: what's next? What is SBAM going to do to help us solve this? What are our lawmakers in Lansing going to do to engage and help us in this space? Senate Bill 1011 is part of that answer. This legislation is about creating more options, not fewer. It's about recognizing that small businesses are fundamentally different from large employers and need solutions designed specifically for their realities. This legislation levels the playing field between these differences, allowing small businesses to pool together, control their costs, claims experience, and benefit offerings similar to their large employer competition. The results are simple: rate stabilization. This policy provides lawmakers solutions for our healthcare small business dilemma in Michigan, within which provides meaningful outcomes. We're not asking for shortcuts. We are asking for the ability to meet a clear and urgent need in the market with strong oversight, transparency, and a track record of serving our members with integrity. Michigan small businesses don't need more barriers. They need tools, they need flexibility, and they need leaders willing to act on solutions that reflect how they are actually operating today. We know you care about small businesses in your community. This legislation advances direct relief from small business owners and operators that are asking for from all of us. We're ready to work alongside you so we can better serve the entrepreneurs of this state. Thank you very much for your time, and I appreciate your consideration of Senate Bill 1011. And I have the privilege to being joined by an expert today, one of our members and small business owners, Gregory Brogan, that can speak to this as an expert.
There we go. Sorry about that. Thank you, Michelle, and thank you, Chair Hertel and the committee. And thank you for promoting me to a board member of SBAM. That's actually my brother Eric. That's the board member, and I'm just here as a regular member today. But my name is Greg Brogan. I own and manage an insurance agency in East Lansing that my grandfather founded in 1937. For over 90 years, our firm has served Michigan employers, employees, and families. Today, we are a small business with 17 employees, but we also serve more than 500 employer clients across Michigan, helping them navigate an increasingly complex, expensive healthcare insurance marketplace. This gives me a unique perspective. I feel these cost increases personally as an employer responsible for providing benefits to my employees, and I witness them professionally as I work with hundreds of Michigan businesses facing the same challenge. Every year, employers are forced to make difficult decisions, absorb another large increase, pass the costs on to the employees, reduce benefits, or both. These are not theoretical discussions. These are conversations happening every day in boardrooms, break rooms, and kitchen tables across Michigan. I've spent my entire 40-year career studying healthcare and health insurance. I served for 16 years on the Sparrow Health System Board, including 4 years as their board chair, and later served 3 years on the American Hospital Association Regional Policy Board. Through those experiences, I have seen firsthand both the strengths and the challenges of our healthcare system. Today, I believe we are approaching a tipping point for employer-sponsored insurance in Michigan. Over the last 4 years, employers have endured 4 consecutive years of double-digit health insurance increases. While every company is different, many of our clients have experienced annual increases exceeding 20%. These increases are far outpacing inflation, wage growth, and an ability for small business to absorb additional costs. A recent survey found that 40% of small business owners are considering dropping health insurance plans altogether. That should be a concern to all of us. We now have clients whose family health insurance premiums exceed $2,500 a month. That's comparable to a mortgage payment on a very nice home. Think about that for a moment. Employers are increasingly being asked to spend as much on health insurance as they would to buy one of their employees a house. If these trends continue, more employers will be forced to make difficult decisions, reducing benefits, shifting costs to employees, or exiting the health insurance market altogether. I do not believe that Senate Bill 1011 is a silver bullet that will solve every challenge facing the healthcare affordability. However, I do believe it is a meaningful step in the right direction and has the potential to slow the unsustainable cost trajectory facing Michigan employers. We have seen a similar concept work before. In 2018, the Small Business Association of Michigan launched Transcend after federal legislation expanded the opportunities for multiple employer health plan arrangements. The program successfully created a more affordable option for many small businesses, and my agency was proud to be the largest producer of that plan in Michigan. We saw firsthand the value that greater purchasing power and innovative plan structures can bring to employers struggling with rising costs. Michigan has historically enjoyed a competitive advantage because our healthcare costs have been lower than many other parts of the country. Unfortunately, I see this advantage slipping away. Employers are feeling the pressure, employees are feeling the pressure, and the current trajectory is not sustainable. I respectfully urge this committee to move Senate Bill 1011 forward with a sense of urgency. While it may not solve every problem, it represents a practical and important step toward preserving affordable employer-sponsored health care for Michigan businesses and workers. Thank you for your time and your consideration.
Thank you for your testimony. Vice Chair Santana has a question.
Thank you, and thank you for your testimony. Your CEO, Brian Cowley, recently spoke on the Mayor's podcast regarding this, exorbitant costs for small businesses. And I guess my question results around the premiums that are being, charged to, obviously, your employees. Do you feel that this policy will help to support, with the pool and the 33,000 members that you do have, hopefully all entering into the healthcare pool, that this will help reduce those costs for those employees, or will this just be something to just help buffer? I'm just trying to get an assessment from a fiscal standpoint, whether or not your employees will still have that absorbent cost for premiums, or will this also provide some reductions for them?
It's a great question. It should and will provide reduction right out of the gate because it's automatically, from an actuarial perspective, it's spreading the risk, right? When you're a 10-person group and you're going into, you're in mandated rates by age banding today, this changes that trajectory and puts you in a actuarial pool with all these other businesses to spread the risk of the claim. So when you're talking to an insurance carrier about putting this together, they know that the risk to them is going to be so much less magnified because they're spreading the risk among all of these employers and employees.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Is it safe to say that with this legislation enacted, small businesses that today are considering having to remove coverage for some of their employees because of the cost, this will make that easier? Might not solve all problems, but it'll make it easier for some of those employers to be able to keep that coverage for their employees?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I actually golfed yesterday with a gentleman that is a CPA in Dexter, 18 employees, and he has already removed himself. They don't offer coverage anymore. And he said, this is what I've been waiting for. I know you guys did this a few years ago, and we've been begging for you to get it back. So it was just a basic conversation on a golf course.
I have, if it's okay, Chair, I have a follow-up question. Why did you change the pool from the small, obviously you've done this a couple of years ago, but what was the change or shift?
It was done with an executive order at the federal level.
Okay, got
And then
it.
it was deemed unconstitutional, and it needed to have a law made at the federal level. There is a law that's been introduced, or a bill introduced at the federal level, but it hasn't moved. And we started to do some research, and other states have done it here in other states, and we were like, maybe we just need to solve, instead of waiting for it to be solved for at the federal level, let's solve for it at the state level.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Senator Heisinger.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for bringing this forward to us. It is a huge issue for small employers, and especially single business owners. Prior to my work in the legislature, my insurance came from my small business. It was just me, and I'm not sure if this is exactly what you're talking about, but in those days, we had more of like a membership agreement where we could have, it was like associated with Wisconsin and a bunch of Midwest states. They aggregated together and did exactly what you said, mitigate risk through volumes. Unfortunately, the Affordable Care Act removed that. And so immediately after that, my health insurance premiums quadrupled. And it went to, and it's not horribly unreasonable right now, but mine went to over $2,800 with a $7,000 deductible like 15 years ago. And so it was just horrible. And then, of course, because of the provisions of when you could change coverage, my start date and stop date was not in that time frame, so it wasn't considered an event. So I had to pay that exorbitant rate for the next 11 months. Is what you're talking about with this pooling different than that, or is it kind of the same? And did you have to have this just within state? And I just wondered if it was because of federal policies that you can't cross over state lines, and is this just a Michigan pool then?
Yes, it would be.
Okay. And so would it be like, do carriers like Priority Health and Blue Cross, Aetna, all these people want to do this kind of thing, or is it going to be, if this passes, will this be one carrier, or how do you foresee this in the future?
As far as, I mean, any carrier can do it. It's not carrier specific, if
No.
that's what you're asking.
Would they? Are they asking you to do that? Or do you have a plan that you're saying, like, we've got
We've
someone
had a
in waiting?
long-standing partnership with Blue Cross. I can't answer for them, but I know that we've had conversations with them, and they haven't directly opposed this.
I think to answer your question, Senator, the small businesses would be able to form whatever the association they would like to form to create that risk pool, and then go out to bid to insurance companies to find the best coverage.
Yes, sorry.
And so whether they already have an existing partnership with an insurer that they would like to use, or would like to solicit coverage from other insurers, I mean, I can't speak to exactly what insurers would participate in the program, but I think given the history of when this was allowed,
Yes.
there were multiple, in my previous experience, before I came to the legislature, there were multiple insurers that operated in this space,
And
and
they
I think
currently do them today. Many of the carriers today are already doing this, but they're doing it in, the way the law is set today is industry specific. So you can do this in a very specific trade association lane, and they're doing it today. So many of them already have this. This opens up the playing field for employers to expand on that. Sorry, I didn't answer that question well at
Great.
all.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Any further questions from committee members? All right. Thank you very much for your testimony.